Good morning, good morning, good morning. And how are we all doing at the table today? How's Mr. James?
Whatever. It's all right.
That doesn't sound too good.
It's hump day, man. We're here. This is the day that we come and we share our hearts,
I told
our
you
minds.
not to say hump day. It means something completely different
well,
in the UK.
here-
You say hump day in the UK and,
It's a party?
No, they think you're a priest.
Hey, man. Well, I am none of that, but we are here at the Olympian table, of course, where we share our minds, our thoughts about whatever's going on, throwing in our thoughts on some finance and mortgage and real estate and such. So we thank you for joining us, and we ask that you share, subscribe, like, all that good jazz. So, but we're here, though. We are here. As hump day as it is, no priest involved. What's going on in your mind today, man? Let me stop you. Let's first talk about something that you might know a little bit about. So, up until this morning, which I know they're ahead, the United States had not marked a gold medal in the Olympics. It has been one of those things where usually we take away quite a few, a nice haul of medals, and man,
And stealing gold from China's got to be a bit of fun.
Hey, absolutely, absolutely.
Even silver and bronze will be.
Yeah, any of it. But yeah, man, the United States up until this morning hadn't even made a gold medal. We got one now. We do have one, and we got some silvers and some bronze now. But man, this Olympics is very, very, quite frankly, outside of the curling, I really haven't watched much. Have you seen anything?
Not really, to be perfectly honest. I watched a bit of, obviously, the ice skating and such like, but I think the figure skating, I think we could possibly take some.
Okay.
The speed skating, I think we'll take some. But when I say we, I mean the US.
The US.
But the truth of the matter is, they're all staggered out. What's your feeling on? Here we go. This is where I get accused of going off topic.
Oh yeah, you're good at that.
So let me go on to our little sheet because I didn't have a chance to do much to it, and there is one thing that I wanted to ask you.
What you got?
About Gu, the American lady that wanted to. A lot of discussion at the moment about the Olympian Gu, the snowboarder, representing China.
The one that was supposedly the traitor or whatever. I
don't think she's a traitor. I mean,
well, that's what they're they call her.
Yeah, I think it's her personal preference. It's like having a dual citizenship. And I really think that she could do a lot of good in China to increase the young ladies. The thing that's interesting about the 2002 Winter Olympics is, that a lot of the venues, like the snow, it's artificial. Do you know that? Artificial snow has never been used as much on most of the venues. It's all artificial.
I believe it. I believe it.
And in no Olympics before has it ever been done to this.
Really? I didn't see that. We were in Toronto one year, and we went to this mountain. Now, when we got there was no snow on the ground, which was everybody was kind of disappointed. But we wanted to go tubing, and we found this place a little bit further north where there was snow there, but they were pumping it in with these machines. So I've seen it done because it just wasn't enough. Now, the very next day, it snowed everywhere, and there was snow everywhere. But I didn't know they were doing that with the Olympics.
Yeah.
Do you think that could change? I don't know what kind of effect that has on traction or anything.
Okay, I think I mentioned this before. On skating, you basically get soft ice. We call a medium ice and a hard ice. The hockey players like the hard ice because it's normally a bit faster and less grip. But figure skate's like a little bit softy and springer if you want to. They're giving it. And I'm sure the same applies to snow.
No, yeah.
And Beijing's done the Summer Olympics, hasn't it, as well?
Hmm.
So I wonder if it's the only country. If anybody knows out there, please let us know. Is Beijing the only city to do a winter and a summer Olympics?
Hmm.
Because it could be, especially if all their snow is artificial.
Right.
And another point that's interesting with when China won the bid for the 2022 Winter Olympic Games, they said that the Winter Olympic Games would cost like 3.9 billion.
Yeah.
And now it's gone up to like $390 billion.
I believe it.
Because of they've used it, one, to try and get everybody in, but two, to, build the high-speed train and to make everybody feel that, China's the place to invest their money in now because the development they've got. But my biggest question has always been with Olympics. It happened with Sarajevo when we did Olympics in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
They pump all this money into the city. And at the end of the day, what happens? It all goes to waste. It literally just deteriorates. The Olympic Village now in Sarajevo, when they went through the war, was all shut up. I mean, that's not going to happen in China, but
right.
A lot of these venues that they've got, it'll be interesting to see what they actually look like in 5 or 10 years' time.
That will be
Some of them for the Winter Olympics have actually been built around industrial venues. So in the background, you can see chimneys. You can see, different things.
Right.
So from that standpoint, it's just, interesting. And I really think at times, as much as I'm an Olympian and I enjoyed the Olympics, and when you look, I'll be honest with you, in the skating, and you don't see the crowd, it's the same conversation that we had months ago. It's just not the same buzz.
Exactly.
I do think you should host the Olympics because a lot of them competitors have worked for that for years. That it's just not the same atmosphere. It's not the same buzz.
Yeah, I agree. And you asked about goo. If what my thoughts are about that. I don't know if I don't know what it is, what the reason is, but she's not the first
No, she's
U.S.
not.
citizzen
I
to
agree.
go and play for their
Agree.
country.
Absolutely.
Now, what a lot of folks don't realize is the money that these, and I haven't looked at the scale for the Winter Olympics, but the money that these teams get, the U.S. doesn't really pay out that much money, even for a gold medal. In comparison to some of the other countries, they don't pay out that much money. So if I can go to my country and I can get paid $100,000 versus 25,000 for a gold medal with the U.S., why wouldn't I do that?
But a lot of the countries directly don't pay. The money goes to the associations.
Well, yes, but
right. But the only way that the athletes get any money is with endorsements, with sponsors, and Wheaties and different things like that. I mean,
but guess what we are doing? We're talking about her. I mean, so she's getting the exposure, but I don't know why they're making such a big deal.
She sent a tweet out, which I thought was a class act. And it was basically saying that the reason why she wanted to
support
China, well, I wouldn't call it supporting China, but represent China, was basically because she feels she could do more for the common good for women and young children in China. Looking at her as a role model, and hopefully in 10, 20 years' time, you've got more athletes competing for China in winter sports, because apparently there aren't many females competing in winter sports. Over here, it's, skiing is one of the strongest sports,
right?
In America. So from that point, it's just been, it's Olympics are always a little bit controversial.
I mean, she's 18 years old. She's a kid, and so just
and she's a very, very smart.
Right.
She does modeling. She's a student at Stanford.
Right.
I take my hat off to her. I mean, to
Absolutely.
me, it's totally up to her. What's the difference? At Aston Villa Football Club in the UK, in the Premier League, okay, we have a right back. His name's Matty Cash. We all look at him as supporters as one of the most talented youngsters in the country. he hasn't got the opportunity to, or he hasn't been given the opportunity to go and play for England.
Mm-hmm.
But and to be perfectly honest, I think he's been overlooked. So what's he done? He's decided to go and play for Romania. Now he's playing for Romania, and now he's got the option to go and do what? Play in the World Cup that
Right.
that's coming up next year. So, to me, it's her choice. It's her life. She should be able to do what she wants with her life. I don't think she's a traitor. People say, well, she's been brought up in the American system and she wouldn't have the same opportunities with the American coaching. If she's got the talent, if she's got the talent, the motivation, and the application, then you know what? Regardless which country she's with, she would have been there.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: she won the gold, so it's not like she was just competing for a space.
Right.
She actually went and she won her event. So it is what it is. The peanut gallery is always going to have something to say. So whatever. But that goal could have been ours. Could have been ours. But hey, it's neither here nor there. It's all good. Salute to you, Miss Eileen Goo. Keep doing your thing. I say, do your thing. Congratulations.
So go on, James. Let's get on to some of these topics.
Let's hit it, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
you put you put the first one in. I mean, I had to look.
I did. No closing cost mortgage. I'm saying this as a real estate agent, and the reason why I put this in was I don't see how you can ever have a no closing cost mortgage, because people are putting time into it. People, you've got to have some skin in the game, and that's the hardest part to get, on the ladder. And as a real estate agent, this is what got us into problems of 2008, issues like this. So I'll be honest, don't want to get into the same positions what we had in 2008.
Oh, no,
there
not at
was
all.
too many people that was hurt through that. But as a loan officer, when you read things like this, no closing cost mortgage, sometimes called a zero closing cost mortgage, is one in which your lender provides the money to pay for the closing costs on your house. In exchange, you typically pay a higher interest rate, or the size of the mortgage is increased to cover the closing costs.
So, it's moving numbers, if that makes any sense.
So you're paying later rather than
later. So it may be built into the interest rate. It may be built into the loan amount, because there's different ways to kind of make things move, so to speak. So it's profitable, because what a company's not gonna do or make a practice of is losing money. I mean, it just makes no sense to do that. It's not gonna you close a bunch of loans or offer a lot of positions to where they're gonna be on the bottom side and out of money in the whole deal. So with that being said, you have to be careful when you're looking at these deals, so to speak, that it's okay, no closing costs. To your point, there's going to be costs. There's always, cost to a loan. They just may not be charging you directly. So your interest rate might be a little bit higher than others' interest rate. They may roll it into your loan amount or give you enough space to where we can roll it into the loan amount. But it's just not going to be free. I mean, that's not going to happen. So I don't know. That's just kind of where I am with it. I think it's something that people get caught up in, and they get so excited about it, and it sounds good, but if they don't do any comparison, they don't realize that they're actually paying more for the deal versus
But that's exactly the same scenario that you and me was talking about the other day. The builders do.
Oh yeah.
They give you everything up front. They overpay, and then the buyer ends up to take the buyer's incentive, take the builder's incentive, overpay for the house, you know, and it needs, to me, it needs to be regulated. Builders need to be regulated. And the reason why they are not difficult, why it's very difficult to regulate builders, is because they're not licensed real estate agents.
They're not. They are not. I'll just put it in the Discord for you. They are not licensed, and they, as long as they disclose their affiliated business agreement, they get away with kind of coercing someone to, hey, Steve, if you buy our house,
an interesting part,
we'll pay your closing costs or give you a credit towards the price.
Right. And the interesting part that you said to me the other day, which I thought was really interesting, because we had one of our agents, James, been working with one of our clients in the office, and they go buy a new house, and builders offering all this help and everything. But what's happening is, even the price that the builder wants for the home, if it doesn't appraise, they can wangle the numbers by doing a credit back to the seller. So then at least
back to the buyer, right?
Back to the buyer. So then the property appraises for that value, and then everybody